Hello friends, my name is Gagandeep. Today I'm going to present one of the script in the Python. First of all, here in this script there are two tasks. First of all, I'm going to represent the first task. In the task one, here I'm using the import OS, which is using to import the OS library, and OS library is used to search the directories. After that, I am using here the get text files, which will be in the directory name or which will be in the parent directory. uh, After that, here I'm using the full directory variable. In this, I'm using the join method, which is as its name represented, it is used to join the components of the path. Moreover, here I'm creating the empty list. After that, here I'm using the for loop. Here in this for loop, I'm giving the three variables in which I'm using the os.walk method. The os.walk method is used to return the files which are in the directories. Furthermore, here I'm using the if statement. If the length is less than if the length of the files which is stored in the C is less than is equal to 0, then it will continue. After that, here I'm using the for loop. Here, if a file in C, all of the text files which are in the C will be copied in the file. And after that, here I'm using the file name variable. File all of the text files which are in the file will be in the lower case character, so that's why I'm using the lower method here. If the .txt file in the file name, then the files will be appended. If all of the files are in the .txt format, then the list of the file will be appended and it will return the list. After that, here I'm giving the name. Here I'm giving the path of the the parent directory, and after that the name of the directory will be Python. After that, here I'm using the one of the print command, which will be used to print the files. When I'm running this code, it is showing that notes.txt, task.txt, all of the files which are in the txt format, and tools.txt. As we can see, then all of the name of the files will be in the lowercase characters. Furthermore, in the task 2, here I'm importing the two libraries. First library, as I earlier told, that it is used to search the directories. Here I'm importing one of the another directory, which is called the RE. RE means regular expression, which is used to um, show the files according to the requirement which we need. After that, get files I'm using here to get all of the files. And after that, full directory, here I'm using the join method, which will be used to join the components of the path. After that, here I'm using the for loop in the os.walk method, as I told earlier, which is used to return all of the files which are in the directories. And after that, if the length of the C, all of the files which are in the C is less than equal to 0, then it will continue. After that, it will show that all of the name, it will in the for loop, if all of the files which are in the C will be copied in the file, and the file name will be in the lower character. If the extension in the file name if the extension in the file name will be copied in the extension, then it will append the list of the file. After that, here I'm using the for loop. In the for loop, here the list which are all of the files which are in the list will be copied in the X. Here I'm using another variable Y. All of the files which are in the X will be copied in the Y. After that, it will append the list of the files in the lowercase characters. Here I'm using one of the variable that is called the R. Here I'm using the compile method. Compile method is here I'm using to compile the code compile the code according to the requirement. As I required to start some of the characters, as for example from WEE, then it will show all of the file which will be start from WEE. After that, here I'm using the required file variable. In this, I'm using the filter method here. The filter method is mostly used to return the files I'm using to return the files in which the requirement is matched. Dot match means to say requirement for the meeting of the requirement. I'm using this method. After that, I'm using the for loop here. In the for loop, all of the files which are in the list will be stored in the temp. Or each variable I'm using, all of the files which are in the temp will be copied in the original format. After that, if temp dot to lower in the required files, then it will append requirement. If the requirement of the file is met, then it will append the original files. After that, the final files it will be returned. After that, I'm giving the name of the parent, name the path of the parent directory. I'm using the one of the directory name variable, which will be take the input from the entry or take the input from the user or related to the name of the directory. Extension variable will take the extension from the user, extension of the file from the user. After that, starting characters, user have to input some of the characters, some of the starting characters of the file. It will be helpful for the user to find the file. After that, I am using here if variable, if command here I'm using with the open method I'm using here. Open method is used to open the files, and W I'm using here, the file will be open in the writing format. After that, all write method here I'm using that the file will be in the writing format. After that, I'm printing the all I'm using the print command here, that all of the files it will show that the number of the file found according to the requirement. After that, else it will show that files, zero files matching. When I'm running this code, it will show that enter the name of the directory, which is I'm giving here Python. Extension is .pptx. Then after that, a few characters I'm giving here, then four files which are matched here. And after that, I'm getting this, I'm copying this, and when I will paste here, it will show all of the files which will be started from the WEE, and all of the first character of the files will be started from the uppercase character according to the requirement it is matched. Thank you so much.